One. Boom. We are live. Motherfucker. Hello, everybody. There's nobody here yet but us chickens. Joining us today is... Introduce yourselves to the people.
Carmelized Pony, most of y'all know me. But emo assassin, what I go by, and
Emo
Mister, I
assassin.
hate this game.
I
Nice
think
to
all
meet
of
you.
us are Mr. Hate This Game. Hello, there's somebody else in here. Go ahead and say something, jackass. All right, well, apparently, allegedly, Kabalin is with us too. He might be having some mic issues. Just start talking whenever you can. There he goes. And he's back.
Is this?
We hear you now.
Yeah, we hear you.
No, I'm caballing. So
There you go. There we go. We are back for another Combat Pack podcast. Before we get started, there is one elephant in the room that we kind of discussed before we went live that I want to kind of nip in the bud out the gates just to get started. We're not going to go over a tier list today. Everybody's kind of putting out tier lists, and instead of putting out a tier list, we're going to tell you why we're not doing a tier list, and that's because all of us kind of agree that it's still too early. Right, guys?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we haven't even seen anybody with new variations really, but the people we play against. No huge tournaments yet.
Yeah, I agree. There's not a whole
So
lot
I don't really.
to base any kind of judgments on. The game is very, very different than what it was, and I get people wanting. That's the fucking laziness of the Mortal Kombat community, rather than just figure out shit.
Yeah.
Go
It's
ahead.
basically just all about whoever likes whatever they like, and then they say, "Oh, this is the high on the tier list." But I don't like what you like, so you can't really say that. Or I haven't seen it work very well either, so you can't say that either. So I rather, yeah, I have to see that same variation work many times.
Right? I think it's just that most people are crying out, it's the Rorschach moment, right? You're crying out for help, and I'm saying no. Most of the people look at tier lists as a guide for what character to pick rather than a list of how results are shaping out. People are lazy. They're oh man, rather than lab my character and get good and try to figure out how to win, I want someone else to figure out how to win and then tell me what character to pick. And it's
I
such a
just think it's
pussy
pretty weird,
move.
how we already had variations, and then you try to make a tier list, and then we're just gonna pick your tier variation. What's the point of having customization if I want to pick the same one you pick?
Yeah, that too. And that goes back to the point I'm making is that people aren't labbing and being creative. They complain that this game wasn't creative enough, and now we have all this creativity, and nobody wants to be creative. They just want to have somebody. They just want Sonic Fox to tell them what character to pick.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I mean, to be fair, more people are gonna go for the optimal build because they just don't want to have fun and they want to win.
Oh yeah, that's everybody. You pick the best one, but I just feel why would you look at a tier list and be like, oh, we're all gonna pick this same variation and we're all gonna play this.
Well,
It's
again,
just
it's because
why
most
would
people are
how are you?
bitch.
I mean, how are you even gonna do a tier list on Ultimate? Do you
Yeah, that's crazy already.
moves as instead of characters? What are you gonna do?
Well, I
Yeah.
think honestly, what would be better than a tier list is a matchup chart. I don't know why nobody's doing matchup charts. Maybe because there's fucking 50 characters in the game. And so to do a matchup chart for 50 characters against 50 characters is a lot. That's a headache and nobody wants to do. But I think a matchup chart would actually work better than a tier list, especially a matchup chart that would show loadouts. Okay, Johnny Cage and Devora is 7-3 unless Devora equips this, and then it becomes a 6-4 matchup, but it's still a bad matchup. That kind of information I could see being useful. But like to just sit there and be like, you know, Joker is the best character in the game, and it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Cause like you could just easily make your own variation, and then all of a sudden you're like, what? This is not the best one.
Well, I don't think that there is a best variation. Like everybody's like, oh, this is the optimal build. This is this. This is this. And you look at the characters that everyone agrees are top tier. They're the characters that either have a build. Well, it's either they have a build that's just so damn good that like you don't need anything else, or they have enough leeway with building themselves that they can overcome bad matchups. It's like, you know, fucking everybody's saying like Spawn is really good, but there's no like optimal Spawn build. Like a lot of people are kind of going back and forth like, okay, this is good for this matchup, this is good for that matchup. So it's like, okay, yeah, like if I have this loadout, then Spawn is like S tier. If I have this loadout against this character, then Spawn is like B tier. And that's so stupid. Like why is that the way that we organize like our tiers in this game? Like I feel like the tier list is outdated and ineffective for describing how characters do in this game. I think matchup charts are a lot better, but they require more work.
Well, tier lists are content, I guess. So you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, you know, you guys aren't really that deep into content creation yet, but it is a struggle to like, you know, there's times where I don't know what the fuck video to put up. Like, thankfully, I have the somewhat weekly podcast. We've missed a couple of weeks here and there, but like, I have shit to upload regularly and do. But I feel like a lot of content creators, especially like MK content creators, it's like after the rush of, oh, it's Ultimate, everybody make a video about Melina, Rain, and Rambo. Like, once that died down, everybody's like, shit, what do we talk about now?
So they basically, after that, they say who's broken. Oh, this guy's broke. You know. So.
Right? But it's like,
yeah, it's the same whole thing.
I'm pretty sure at this state of the game, there's 10 characters in top 5 and 20 characters in top 10, top 20. With Shao Kahn being at the bottom one.
Yeah.
I don't even think Shao Kahn is as bad as people say. I think he's like around one of the worst characters in the game, and I think he still struggles, but I don't think he's like this awful, unplayable mess. I'm like, yeah, he's unsafe, but if he touches you twice, you're dead. Like, he's got to be unsafe for how much damage he deals.
I mean, there's Baraka, who's safe on pretty much everything unless you follow Spock 112, right?
Yeah, like, but Baraka also doesn't have the utility that Shao Kahn has. Like, he doesn't have the neutral. What are you going to do in the neutral? 4-2-1? Like, and Baraka, I don't know of anybody saying that Baraka's, like, trash. Like, I don't think Baraka's bad at all.
I am.
Like, fucking...
I am.
You think Baraka's bad?
Yeah, man. I mean, what can he do? He has damage, but how is he going to get it?
Yeah, but I mean, most people aren't really running gutted. I mean, most people are running, like, some take on Bone Picker.
Yeah.
And Bone Picker's cheap, dude. You can't tell me Bone Picker's not cheap.
Oh, Bone Picker is not fucking cheap. Bone Picker is just fake mix.
I don't think Bone Picker's cheap.
I think Bone Picker build with the fucking spine burst, dude. The spine burst just deletes neutral. Like,
I don't think that messes with me too much.
Nah, spine burst is just brain dead rush down.
No, but if you use it as a spacing tool,
after 4-1, spine burst in the corner, you go into down 3, and then you go into forward 4 or whatever into spine burst again, and just loop it. But if the opponent can block the down 3 after the spine burst instead of just pressing buttons like
it definitely was cool when I first seen it, but like yeah, afterwards I was like,
But see, you guys are just looking at spine burst from the point of view of like what kind of combos and damage can I get on it, and I'm looking at spine burst as like, dude, you have a character.
I'm literally seeing Biohazard play with him
looking
all
at the
the
point
time
of view.
and stop playing him because he keeps losing with him.
I'm looking at the point of view of pressure tool, not combo tool.
See, I'm not looking at it from that at all. I'm looking at it as a space control tool in that you have a character with one of the best projectiles in the game, and then now he has a shield. And if you play Baraka super fucking lame, it's really hard to get around that. But a lot of people are like, nobody picks Baraka to play lame, right? Everybody picks fucking Cetrion or Garrus when they want to play lame. But it's like, if you play Baraka lame, you tell me how you're getting around Spine Burst, especially if you're a rushdown character. If you're Molina or Kung Lao or Jackie, what are you doing about Spine Burst? Nothing. You're hoping for a whiff. You're hoping he throws it out and you can fucking, you're spaced enough to be able to punish it when he whiffs it. But other than that, like at any point in time, if I'm trying to push a button and approach on screen, that shield is there. And nobody's really thinking about it like that.
Molina can ball roll and then go under Spine Burst.
See, I didn't know that.
Same with Fusion 4-3 or 0.
Well,
yeah.
4-3 goes over
Spine Burst is high.
It is a high, but again, like if you're Molina, your best approach tool is forward 1, which is also a high, which is going to get blown up by Spine Burst. So if Baraka's sitting there like just mashing out projectiles and doing Spine Burst and occasionally command grabbing you, like, and that command grab is a ranged command grab, so like I just don't see him being like awful. I'm like, he's lame, he's fucking boring.
All of his options from that point are highs. All you gotta do once you got the health lead is go back and then block, or just duck.
But that's the weakness of every zoner. Every zoner's weakness is if I get a life lead on you, you cannot like overcome that very easily. That's the whole point of a zoner is like, you know, they do low damage, but they can control the pace of the whole fight. So you hardly ever get opportunities to deal damage, whereas they're just never not dealing damage. But if they're ever behind, it becomes very, very hard because, again, like a zoner is trying to win by 1,000 paper cuts instead of a shotgun. So it's fine that like Baraka can get lamed out. That's how you beat a zoner, is you lame out the lame. But like if he wants to be lame, it's very hard for any character to deal with it. Like it's just tough. You have to just kind of sit there and respect it. I think the problem that people are finding with Baraka and saying that he's bad is that the reality is nobody wants to play lame like that. And if you pick Baraka, the big scary monster guy with fucking Wolverine claws, like nobody picks that character and says, yeah, man, I want to zone. Like who the fuck does that? Nobody picks Baraka because they want to zone. They pick Baraka because they're like, dude, I want to be a big scary monster that fucking eats people. And so that's why people are thinking that Baraka's bad, because he doesn't do what you would want a character like that to do. And he's actually kind of bad at what you would want to do with that character. Like his rushdown is kind of bad. His neutral is kind of bad, but like if you play him really, really dry and lame, he's not bad. He's actually good.
I don't think his pressure is bad, personally.
It's
4-2-1 jail, so they either have to block it, which leaves them open for command grab, or just 4-2-1-2, which leaves them plus.
Well, the reason why I say that
his 4-2-1 is really good.
I say that his rushdown is like bad to mediocre just because he doesn't have a mid. He's got gaps in his pressure. He's got too many highs. So like at any time you can make the read and poke out of it. Whereas like Jackie, you can't make the read and poke out of that. Like you're holding that. When she's pressuring you, you're blocking and you're waiting for her to stop. Whereas with Baraka, you can sit there and say, okay, I'm at this range where he has this option and this option. Like I can mash. I can strategically mash. Like, you know, like, and that shuts down his pressure. That's why I say that his pressure isn't that good.
Baraka is a 12-frame mid and forward, dude. Like,
are you really? Are you telling me when you're pressuring someone up close, you're mashing out forward 4, that slow ass thing that's going to get hit by down pokes? Like he has a move to get in. Forward 4 is good to get in, but once you're in, he doesn't have enough to enforce his pressure. Like, what does he have to enforce his pressure that you can't mash out of? Besides forward 4, which is slow at that range. It's fast if you use it at max range, but up at point blank, if you use forward 4, guess what? You're getting mashed on. You're eating it down 1. You want to do 1-1? You better hope that they're not mashing, because if they are, you're eating it down 1. You want to do forward 2? Okay, if you do it up close, you're going to get interrupted by a down poke. If you do it at the right spacing, it's a high, so they can use a long-range poke like a down 4 to stop it. Like, so you're stuck with forward 4 and then down 1, and that's his pressure. Forward 4, down 1. Forward 4 to get in, and then when you're in, down 1. Pray for the jail. And that's his pressure. And it's not bad. It works, but I think it's mediocre. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that? What's your opinion? I want to hear the counter argument.
I just don't agree with that. I just think he has pretty alright pressure. Like,
How
he
about
space down ones out with forward 2, but people can down 4, at which point you can just back that. You can walk back or backdash or just jump over it and get punished because pokes are just slower now.
Yeah, but what I'm
Back
saying,
three,
I'm not
back
saying that
three.
you're wrong. I'm just saying that, like, how is that pressure? Because when I think of good pressure, I'm thinking of, like, Liu Kang back 1. I'm thinking of Jackie's forward 3. I'm thinking of Kung Lao's forward 1, where I have this one move that you have to respect. And if I do this move, you have to block it. There's no mashing. There's no avoiding. If I'm in position to do this move and enforce my pressure, you are blocking or you're taking damage. And that's it. And, like, Baraka doesn't have that. So, yes, he has pressure, but I think it's mediocre because you have to have all these contingency plans for what if. Whereas if I'm Kung Lao and I want to pressure you, I'm doing forward 1. There's no thought. There's no, okay, but if they do this, it's like, no, dude, I'm in position, forward 1. Respect it or take the hit. Whereas with Baraka, it's like, okay, he's in position, down 1, fish for the jail. Like, he doesn't have, like, an abusable pressure tool. All of his pressure tools are very specific and situation dependent and a lot of times matchup dependent. He doesn't have, like, a catch-all fucking one move. And to me...
Matchup dependent, I agree. Matchup dependent, I agree on his 1-1 staggers. 1-1-2 is fake. The 1-1 staggers are fake on any character that has a low poke there. Fucking low profile 1-2.
And
that's fake on a lot of matchups, honestly.
And that's what I'm saying is, like, when I think of someone with good pressure, I'm thinking of someone whose pressure must be respected. If I can win the neutral and get into a position where I can do this move, you have to hold that. That's pressure. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to neutral duck. Nope, you're getting comboed. Oh, I'm going to short hop. Nope, you're getting comboed. Oh, I'm going to try and mash. No, you're getting comboed. Did you block? Then you're getting comboed. Whereas with Baraka, it's like when he gets in, like, I have options. I have options to defend myself against his pressure. I could always just default to mashing. And if his timing isn't on point and he is not flawless with making sure his jails are airtight, I'm getting out.
Okay, so what you're telling me is you're agreeing on me that he's bad.
No, I'm not saying that he's, like, bad. I'm just saying that he's mediocre. He's, like, average. Like, there's nothing that Baraka does that other characters don't already do, and a lot of characters do better. Like, his zoning is good, but there are better zoners. His neutral is fine. There are better neutral characters. His rushdown is okay, but there are better characters with rushdown. So, like, at the end of the day, what do you do with a character like Baraka? Well, the best variation for Baraka is just be lame and space them out with spine burst and projectiles, which is kind of like, it's not bad. It's good. It works. I've seen people do it, but it's boring. And it's not, like, amazing.
The best variation is either the spine burst, the chip moves like back forward 3 and back forward 2, or it's the full-on mixed variation with command grab and like Kabal, but it has a 1-frame fuzzy.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, none of those builds do anything that other characters don't already do better. Like, if I wanted to just mix people, like, how is Baraka better than Terminator? He's not. Terminator has the best mix in the game.
Well, no. No, he isn't.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Which would mean he's bad.
No,
right?
Bad would mean that he's not, like, he's unfunctional at the things that he does. He is functional. You can do all those things. It's just there are characters that are better at it. That just means that he's mediocre. Bad to me means,
no one
like,
is bad in Mortal Kombat in MK11, right? No one is bad in UMK11.
Compared to, like, historically
By that
speaking, what would be considered bad in a fighting game? No, I don't think anybody in this game is bad. I think you could pick any character and win with it. Like, bad to me is like if you pick this character, it doesn't matter the matchup, you've already lost. Like, you've lost. Like, I'm talking like Oro from Third Strike.
Day one Shao.
You know, not even day one Shao. Like, Oro in Third Strike is bad.
Drunk Master Boraicho.
Like, no, even worse. There are worse characters in MKX than that. Like, fucking, what was that one? Fucking, there was like a Kenshi variation that was just awful. Like, it was just not even fucking worth and fucking with. Like, there's like when I'm saying bad, I'm saying fucking Baraka from MK9 was bad. Like, if you picked Baraka in MK9, you lost. That's it. The discussion is over. You were defeated at character select screen. I don't think there's any characters in this game that are in that situation. There's no character that if I pick them against you, I have already lost. I think every character can kind of compete with everybody else. There's bad matchups, but they're not unwinnable. Whereas Baraka and MK9, like, Baraka fighting a fucking Kenshi or a Cyrax, like, that match was unwinnable. Like, Baraka's not beating Cyrax in MK9. I don't care how good you are. You know, like,
I mean, it would have to be a shit Cyrax and a really good Cabal, but still, that might be still in the question.
It'd have to be a Cyrax who just started playing the game versus a Baraka who had been playing for years. But like, if a Cyrax player could do the 80% reset, that was it. You were done. You were dead in 1.5 touches. So like, I don't think there's any character in this game that's like, hands down, this character is bad.
Then by that logic, let's say he has one of the worst builds, or one of the worst builds that you can have.
Well, I think everybody has bad builds though. Everybody's got a bad build. Like, there are bad Cetrion builds.
Like, he doesn't have a build that will instantly win the matchup.
Yeah.
Matchup.
Yeah, like, he has builds that you can win with, but he doesn't have any cheap shit. Like,
Exactly.
But I don't think that necessarily means that he's bad. It just kind of means that he's, like, mediocre.
Well, once we got the basis of what bad means in your eyes and what bad means in my eyes, we got into a better direction into what we are meaning with Baraka being bad.
Well, because I actually use like our fighting game vocabulary the way it was meant to be. Like, a lot of people, again, that's something that I'm always like bitching about, people using words and not really knowing what they mean. And I'm like, you know, when someone says a character's bad, and I'm like, have you not played a lot of fighting games? Because I've seen some bad characters. Like, dude, you do not pick this character. And I come from the generation of, if I wanted to play a fighting game, every match costed 25 cents. So, like, when you had a bad character in those days, it was like, yo, dude, I'm going to basically donate 25 cents to the arcade because I'm not winning this matchup. This character's that bad. And, like, people just, they're so quick to, like, the hyperbole and the exaggeration is, like, absurd, right? Like, they take a character that's, like, mediocre, like Baraka. He's mediocre. And they're like, Baraka's bad. He's the worst character in the game. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? The worst character in the game and he's bad and unplayable? I don't think you know what unplayable is, because I've seen characters that were unplayable.
One of them was Baraka in MK9.
Right? Baraka and MK9, what was it? Shiva and MK9? Like, fucking unplayable. You know? And, like, people just kind of exaggerate. The hyperbole in our community is just, it's at levels that I find to be excessive. Like, come on, man. Like, you're really going to tell me, like, this character is unplayable and you're going to quit? Like, get the fuck out of here. And I get that it's like a relative thing. Like, this character is bad relative to the game that they're in. You know, like, okay, yeah, Baraka is bad because he's not as good as the top tiers. But, like, I don't think that he's bad in, like, the sense that people say. Like, I think he's playable. Every character is playable. Every character could win. You could win EVO with any character in this game, or whatever tournament we have after EVO is gone. You could win a tournament with any character in the game. I truly believe that.
So, in your opinion, what is the worst and what is the best character in the game?
Well, and
Because in my
again,
opinion, the worst is Shao Kahn and the best is Cetrion.
I honestly think, and again, we're getting kind of into tier list area,
I mean,
but
not really feel it. I'm just talking about discussing the characters in the game. Personally, I think
so
that's what it is.
I think the best character in the game is still Jackie, and the worst character in the game is RoboCop. And I don't know of anybody that would dispute that. I think that the discussion around the tier list is where everybody else in the middle of those two falls. But I don't know of anybody that would argue that Jackie is the best character in the game, if not one of the best characters. Like, she's either number 1 or number 5 in everybody's opinion. And the same thing with RoboCop. Like, he's either last place or bottom 5.
Yeah.
I think RoboCop is
my
the worst
opinion,
character in the game.
Garrus will always be top 6 after the nerf. There's not a single patch he isn't top 6.
Yeah. Garrus is, there's nothing without, if they did something about Sandtrap, then I guess Garrus would be humanized. But until something is done about Sandtrap, Garrus is still like a strong pick. Like, you could win every tournament you enter with Garrus just because of Sandtrap. The fact that he has other shit makes him cheap, but Sandtrap is what makes him good. Ponies, what do you Ponies hasn't said shit this whole fucking podcast.
Yeah.
I'm a little exhausted.
It happens. I mean, who do you think are the best and worst characters? And you just had an exhibition last night, too.
Yes, I did, but best and worst for me.
Just number 1 and number last.
Number 1 for me will probably, I don't know, I'll go either Shang or Liu Kang.
Really? You think Shang is the best character in the game?
I just think he's real good.
Well, I said who's the number 1
Shang-
character. You said Shang is number 1 in the game. I want to hear this.
Shang, I just think he has a lot of tools because of this customization stuff that I never really found out or never used. And I'm not really a zoner, but he doesn't have to be a zoner with so much things that he have now. Besides all that ground eruption, and I don't really get into that. But yeah, it's like his base move that I found, the 3 fireballs, whatever that's called.
Oh, the one that's like plus a billion on block, and it does like 20% damage if it hits.
And then like his regular skull is like basically like Scarlet's blood ball. It's so much so much hit advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just he got a lot of tools, and his shake is like probably one of the best moves I've ever seen on this game.
I mean, that's interesting. That's an interesting opinion. I don't know that Shang is as cheap as Jackie, though.
Nah, I don't. But
I think Shang is up there with Cassie in terms of utility that he gets from his custom abilities, but him being top 1 seems really far fetched for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Kabalsek. I would maybe make an argument that he could be in the top 5, but I don't know about the best character in the game. I'd fight 1,000 Shangs before I fought 1 Jackie.
They're bumping it.
But I mean, okay, so then who do you think is the worst character in the game? I want to hear this. Because if you think Shang is the best, I want to hear who you think is the worst.
Worst character. Worst character. It's most likely Robo, because I hate everything about his movement. I don't know. He can only. It ain't like he don't got combos, but he really can't do anything I would love to do.
Well, I mean, that's more of like a playstyle thing. You just don't enjoy RoboCop, but like, you think he's like that bad?
I like his movement. He actually get a lot of space in like just a couple dashes.
Yeah, he does have good movement. He just doesn't have buttons. That's why I put him like as the last like worst character in the game. His buttons are ass. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this character other than low shot? And if you don't have low shot equipped, like, then it's even worse. Because at least, like, with low shot equipped, it's like, all right, in the neutral, I have a thing that can hit you from 2 character lengths away. But, like, without low shot, it's like, oh, like, I have literally nothing.
I can see the argument of him being not bottom one, but I can see him. He really is really bad. He has a really good blender now up close, but that's if you get a hit on, and then it leaves you for either the 10 frame mid or the command grab, or well the forward 2 take into command grab.
Yeah, but the problem I
And
have
they
with the
try to jump it.
blender is, like, how are you going to get in there? Like, he doesn't really have tools to get in to do that.
Yeah, that's what I said. If he gets in or if he gets a hit somehow, I think that's the exact way I put it.
Yeah, and like the
But
blender's fine, but the damage output is low. Like, you're gonna have to get like 2 or 3 loops of that blender to be able to make it worth your while. And all of his options out of that are unsafe. Like, he gets punished for big damage. What's that?
is forward is
I
actually
don't really think he can mix you up either.
He can mix you up with the mid grab.
yeah, you can.
Yeah, but that's just the mid grab, though. I mean, just like overall.
Well, no, he's not like Terminator where it's like high low. But strike throw is a mix, and like his is actually really, really good because he's got that 10 frame mid. So like you have to guess, but it's a lopsided guess. Like, or not like a lopsided guess. It's like almost like a true 50-50. Because like if you're against a character like Jackie who has like good mids that can convert into a full combo, then the strike throw is not 50-50. It's like, okay, yeah, like, is she going to grab me for 14% or whatever? Or is she going to combo me for half of my health? So, like, you can make an educated guess.
It still wouldn't be 50-50 in that case, because if the opponent tries to jump the command grab and you hit him with the forward 3, then you get a 30% combo for 1 bar.
With RoboCop?
They try to jump you entire with 4-3-2 into entire shoots meter burn 4-3-2 command grab. That's 1 bar for 30%.
Yeah, but
you're
that's
back at zoning range for backward 1.
That's just if they jump. If they block, you're not getting anything.
mean-
Or not block, but if they stand, if they're standing, like say they didn't read like the grab and they read like the grab but they didn't jump or whatever and they just weren't blocking, like, or they didn't jump in time. If you catch somebody on the ground with that, like, air shot is punishable. So it's like
Well, you reconfirm the air shot by that.
Yeah, again, a
If
smart
they-
player is going to hit confirm, but most people in this game don't. But what I'm saying is it's unsafe.
You're looking at how good a character is based on how most people play him or how really good people play him.
No, I determine whether a character is good based on how many options I have to enforce my goal and how many holes there are in that option. If I want to do a thing and you have 10 counters to it, and that thing is my best thing, then I don't consider that thing good. So, like with RoboCop, it's like if I want to put you in the blender and I have like forward 3 and I have mid grab, right? And that's it. I have 2 options to enforce my strategy. And how do you escape it? Well, there's like 10 different ways to escape it. And it's like, all right, well, that's not that good. It's not bad, but it's not that good. Whereas like with Jackie, if I want to pressure you, I push forward 3, and your option is either block or take the hit. Like, that's it. If I'm in range to do it, you block or you take the hit. I don't think RoboCop has that.
It still would be put her in the blender, right? Put the opponent in the blender. Your objective is put someone in the blender, not once you're in the blender, hit them.
Yeah, but the
because
thing
once
is,
you're in the blender, you already have a mix-up, at which point they have to guess whether they jump out of the command grab, which if you read that or you guess right, you get 30, or they read a fucking 4-3, and if you guess right, you're gonna do a command grab, which does 13% on amp without amplify, and 16% I think with the amplify.
Yeah,
at which point you start doing it again. which is the other game plan. The game plan of RoboCop's low shoots plus grab plus flamethrower is either get into the blender or shoot,
Well,
right?
yeah, and I mean there are ways of escaping the blender, and the blender is fine when he gets you into it. The problem is, like I said, what makes RoboCop so bad is he doesn't have a way to put you there. Whereas like Jackie has a million ways to just put you in her Jackie blender. Like if you're fighting Jackie, it's guaranteed you're getting caught in the blender at some point. Whereas if you're fighting RoboCop, he may never even do that. He could have that entire loadout to do that blender and never even get a chance to do it. That's what I think makes RoboCop bad.
Okay, now bad as in unplayable, unwinnable, or bad as in the terms people on Twitter use?
I would say in a game where every character is competitive, RoboCop would be the closest thing to a character that isn't. Like, I'm hesitant to say that he's unplayably bad, but I do think that, like, he's close to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, in a world where there is no perfect 10, he would be a 9.5 on badness. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I guess, yeah, but the way you described it, yeah, but I don't agree. He has two game plans, in my opinion: either zone with low shoots, or get you in the blender. Which his movement, which is all right, complements both, right?
Yeah, but the problem I have is that those two. So he's got two game plans that you can make work, and you can alternate between the two game plans. But the problem is one of those game plans of just run away and shoot, you're on a countdown until they get in, right? And the other game plan of like fish for the blender is, can I even get in? And that's the problem, is like he doesn't have a thing that he can do that you just have to deal with. Like, you don't, when he's zoning, you don't really have to just sit there and deal with it. Like, every character has like anti-zoning tech. And when he's rushing down, like, you kind of don't have to deal with it because every character's got at least a normal that they can just throw out there and there's nothing he can do about it. Like, if Molina just wants to fucking play the spacing game and stay in the neutral and hit down 3 the whole match, like, RoboCop doesn't really have an answer to Molina's down 3. And yeah, it's going to take you an hour and a half to win with down 3, but like at the end of the day, like if a Molina player or like a noob Cybot wanted to just sit there and do down 4 and forward 2, or like Shao Kahn just doing down 4 and stand 1, like what the fuck does RoboCop do against that basic shit? He doesn't have an option to dealing with basic shit. Forward 2 doesn't have the range. Like, you're not using forward, and isn't forward 2 like a high?
No, it's a mid. 42 is a thing that leads into a crouching blow.
Oh yeah, that's right. But it's still kind of stumpy.
I mean, it serves its purpose of being a.
You're not using forward 2 to get in on like Shao Kahn's down 4.
Well, no, you're using forward 2 to whip punish someone using his.
Yeah, but again, you're not using forward 2 to whiff punish a down poke.
Forward 2, 1 into blender, starter, and then you continue the blender, at which point.
Yeah, but you're not thinking about the game in terms of neutral and like fundamentals. Like at the fundamental level, what is RoboCop gonna do in the neutral if I'm just standing right outside of forward 2 range and mashing down 4? Like, what is his answer to that? Backdash and, like, shoot? Okay, then I'll just walk in and start doing the same thing again. Because, like, at that range, at the neutral range, like, you could get around the shot with a jump in. So it's not really safe to do that. He's kind of committed to that move. So, like, if I'm just sitting there low poking him, like, 1 or 2 character lengths away, like, RoboCop does not have an answer to that. No, most characters, the answer to it is, like, an advancing mid or a jump. And, like, RoboCop's jump is, like, ass. Like, it's just garbage. Like, at least Like someone like Sub-Zero who has the same problem of like, what do I do against like low pokes? It's like, well, he's got back 3, and if he whiff punishes your poke with back 3, he gets a big fucking combo. Whereas like RoboCop, it's like, okay, you're just mashing out low pokes, so I'm gonna start whiff punishing it, and my best tool for whiff punishing it is like down 3 and down 4. Like that's kind of ass. Like that's pretty bad. That's like one of your basic key core fundamental strategies with every character, and my best option to stop that is like hit you with a poke. Like that's awful. That's not unplayably bad. You could have such amazing spacing and amazing neutral, and you could win with just down 4, punishing them trying to poke. You could do it. I've seen people do shit like that, but God, that's got to be better ways of doing things. Like every other character has a better way of dealing with that shit.
Well, every that doesn't have that has a fast mid. Like what's Baraka gonna do about that too?
Well,
That's someone like who else doesn't have a fast mid?
Like Baraka at least has like tools to like deal with that shit. Like he's got, fucking back 2. Like he can just go for his overhead. That leads to a knockdown. At least he's got advantage in the neutral. I mean, knockdowns are weak anyways, but like at least he's got that. He's getting a little bit of damage and a knockdown. He's got his sweep. RoboCop's sweep is like average. But like Baraka's sweep. What's that?
What do you mean?
You're breaking up.
Shoots the ground like 3 times, right? That's pretty good range, and it keeps him safe, right?
Well, the problem I have with RoboCop's sweep is that he doesn't low profile. Like he stands like straight up and does it. And sweeps are kind of like slow, and his sweep has like not very good range. So like he doesn't move forward in advance. He doesn't have a built-in avoidance. Like it does have multiple hits that are lows, so he'll get the knockdown, but it's kind of a risky move to just throw out. Like whereas like Baraka's sweep is really good. It has long range. It has a disjointed hitbox because it's his claw. Like, yeah, he doesn't like duck down. He doesn't low profile that much, but he still low profiles a little bit. Like he could duck jabs with it. Not consistently, and it's not something that I would use to specifically duck jabs, but if you threw it out there and they tried to jab at the wrong time, it'll beat it. Same thing with like Shao Kahn's sweep, and Shao Kahn's sweep is plus on block, so that's even worse. But it's like RoboCop, like
Shao sweep and Baraka's sweep are -2 on block.
I thought Shao's sweep was like +1. I could be wrong though. I don't play that much Shao.
-2.
Even still, -2 is good. Shit, in this game, in this world where everything is online, -2 might as well be +1. Especially considering he has a fast down 1 and he has a fast jab. So like, like he's got shit he can do. Like I don't think Shao Kahn is as bad as RoboCop. I think Shao Kahn has tools. They're just unsafe. If you're wrong, you're dead. But if they're wrong, they're dead. So I guess if you like coin tosses, then Shao Kahn's your shit. I think at least Shao Kahn has tools.
I don't know. I don't think Shao is worse than RoboCop, but I also don't think he's better than him.
I could agree with that. I would say that if if Shao Kahn could be considered better, then it's because he has more options. But all of his options are fucking unsafe death on block. So like, I still wouldn't consider them good options. He just has them.
He got a pretty decent buff this patch, where his stand 1 finally fucking jails.
Yeah, but like I'm hesitant to say that that's like a buff for Shao Kahn because like everybody got that. That should have been the case from the start. Like they should have made the down poke the way it is now from the beginning. I think the problem at NetherRealm, like with their Q&A and their testing, is so like every fighting game has a team of high level, pro level tournament players on staff that test the game, right? Like people want to bitch and complain and say, oh, this game's balance is garbage and blah, blah, blah. Like, what idiots are balancing this game? Those guys suck. And it's like, no, actually, the guys balancing the game are actually very, very good at it. But the problem is, they're playing the game from the perspective of someone that's good. They don't take into account people that are bad. And I think that's why pokes were the way they were at release. Because smart players and good players that were testing the game, and I assume in an offline environment as well. That's not like they're testing the balance online, right? They're at NetherRealm offices in a room designed for testing the balance. And so in that vacuum, like the pokes aren't that much of a problem. But you throw net play in there and you throw bad players who are just going to mash, and then we have the situation that we've got. And I think that's why pokes didn't get, they weren't the way they are now because they probably didn't anticipate the game devolving the way it did.
Yeah.
But like the NetherRealm team, like they've got good players like on their roster of like testers. And when I say, and I mean balance testers, not Q&A testers. That's like two separate things. But I'm fairly confident in the QA testers that they've got. Like seeing how they're balancing the game and seeing their approach, like those guys, they know what they're doing. They're not perfect. They're not always right, but they know what they're doing, in my opinion.
I think this is going to be the hot take of the podcast. Flawless blocks shouldn't occur on hit advantage.
I get that a lot of people don't like that. I actually think it's fine. But go ahead and say it. Yeah, I want to give you your chance to speak first because I hear this a lot from other people and I've heard varying opinions. But they all have come to the same conclusion that you shouldn't be able to flawless block on hit advantage. And so I kind of want to hear, what do you got? Why? Why is it bad?
Because it makes me afraid to press after a hit.
Well, good.
Especially with Shao.
I don't see that as bad.
Has a 9 frame stand 1 and a 10 frame for back 3. It's either going to be a stand 1 or a back 3 or a throw. Everything is punishable with a combo. Obviously, the grab's gonna be down 2 KB. Forward 3 is gonna be, and stand 1 is gonna be up 2. And his Shao's stand 1-2 is not a good shimmy. It's not gonna hit you out of an up 2 unless you're probably someone with a really slow up 2. I haven't labbed that. Especially with other characters like. I've been fighting I fought Biohazard once with Variation 3 Spawn. My game plan then was, okay, I'm gonna hit him with a down 1. I'm gonna gel into stand 1-1, have plus frames, backdash into back 3 into mix, back 1 into mix. And I couldn't do it because it became really easy for him to flawless block my jail, right? And he gets a full combo. And I just don't agree with that. I just don't agree with being punished on a hit in an essence.
Well, you're not being punished on hit. You're being punished by sticking out a button when your opponent made the read that you were sticking out a button. Here's the deal. Here's why I think it's good. I agree that your situation sucks, right? It sucks to get a hit and then get blown up for that hit. But the thing is, people look at frame advantage like it's like guaranteed. And no, that's a combo. Anytime anything is guaranteed, it's a combo. And I like in this game that like that sort of stuff isn't guaranteed. I think combos should be guaranteed. I still don't like breakaway. But flawless block, it just adds to the mind game in the neutral. And I don't think that taking away something that gives you an opportunity. Because like if you didn't have flawless block, then like everything would, like the whole game would devolve into like, once I have frame advantage, like you're just kind of fucking stuck and it becomes a very set play based game. And I mean, I find that to be kind of degenerate because then the whole game would be like you think about characters that have some stupid ass plus frames, right? Like, what's a good, like Scarlet, right? Scarlet on her low slime or her low blood trail, whatever, she's like plus 25. You want to sit there and tell me that it would be better if she could be able to be plus 25 on a hit and you had no option to counterplay other than like block and eat the strike throw. And that's what people are asking for. They're asking for like, oh yeah, when I get my plus frames, you just have to take what I'm doing. And I'm like, no, that's a combo. Plus frames are supposed to be, here is your opportunity, but I still have an option.
I'm not saying remove flawless block entirely. I'm just saying.
You're saying remove it from plus frames. Yeah. Okay. So again, if I hit you with a move that's
no. I missaid. I meant on hit advantage plus frames.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Hit advantage plus frames. Scarlet hits you in the corner with her fucking blood trail, amplifies it, and is at like plus 25 in the fucking corner. And now you have no options because there's no flawless block. You just have to take the plus 25. You might as well make that a combo extender. Might as well make it a combo. Like, at that point, just make it a combo. Make it like Sub-Zero's Ice Ball. Like, you're stuck. I get a free hit. Like, the whole point of plus frames that are not a combo state is that it isn't a combo. You still have a way to escape it. And I like Flawless Block as that way to escape it because it's actually hard. Like, other games that don't have something like Flawless Block, like where you just have to take it, like then you just get set played the whole fucking round because I hit you with my plus frames, right? I get my plus frames on hit advantage, not block advantage, hit advantage, and now you're just caught in the blender. Like that's literally like fucking, what is it, Flame Fist Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat X. Like that's literally, you know, like Johnny Cage from MK9. Like I hit you, I'm plus. You can't do anything but block, and now I put you in a mix-up the rest of the match. At least in this game, you have the option. You can say, okay, I know what you're doing, and that shit is cheap, but fuck you. I'm going to flawless block, and I'm going to actually get a hit in. Like, I'm going to get at least an up 3, and I'm going to stop you, and I'm going to be at plus 4, and I can at least do something if I'm good enough to do it. It's not even a guaranteed, like, every player on every character is going to be flawless blocking your plus frames every time. First of all, you have to be able to do it. Most people can't. Because people come into my chat and they come into my stream and they see me flawless blocking shit left and right. And they're like, fuck, dude, you're godlike. How do you flawless block everything? Okay, so first of all, not everyone can do it. And second of all, it's managed by meter. It's not like you're just going to do it every time. Like, unless they're jailing you with something that's like minus a billion on flawless block, you're still kind of fishing for an up 2 or an up 3, which you need bar to do. So if you don't have bar, now I'm in the situation where my frame trap is guaranteed. And you have to hold that. And it takes meter management into account.
When do you not have bar?
There's a lot of times where you don't have bar. If you're sitting there flawless blocking a frame trap over and over, yeah, dude, you can flawless block it twice. And now I'm going to do it again. And you don't have bar. You know, or you broke away. Like, say I'm playing a character like, you know, Lao, and I launch you and you break away. Okay, well, now I'm going to do 1-2-1, put myself at plus 10, and you have to hold that. You're not flawless blocking my plus frames. You're getting my strike throw. You know, like, there are ways around that. I think people are just kind of complaining because they think that this game, that's the problem, is people that play Mortal Kombat 11 never played other fighting games. They've only played Mortal Kombat. This is why Eris makes fun of our community. And this is why Eris was dominating in Mortal Kombat 9. Like, and this is why a lot of, like, people that play other fighting games can come into our community and fucking wreck us. But, like, players that play Mortal Kombat hardly ever do good outside of NetherRealm games. Like, you have Sonic Fox and Chris G. And that's it. Who the fuck else in the NetherRealm community does good in other games? Eris is not in the NetherRealm community. He's a Tekken and Soul Calibur player who occasionally dabbles in Mortal Kombat. But who else is doing good, putting in work in other fighting games? Not many other people, because people have like the NetherRealm mentality of like bitch-assfulness in there. And it's like, oh, I got plus frames. I'm plus. I'm supposed to be guaranteed. No, the only thing that's ever guaranteed in a fighting game is a combo. That's a problem I have with Mortal Kombat 11 because combos aren't guaranteed. But that's like an old, like, standard rule of fighting games is that the only thing ever guaranteed is a combo. Everything else can be counterplayed. And so I don't have a problem with plus frames leading to flawless blocks. Don't be predictable. You could beat up flawless blocks. You grab me. And if you're a character with a grab loop, that's even scarier. You know, it's not like you're It's not like you're locked in and like, oh man, I have nothing I can do. You could just not do anything off of the plus frames and use them as an advantage to land something else. Because again, flawless block requires timing. Okay? And you guys blow me up with flawless block. Like a lot of you guys that play with me have gotten in the habit of not poking, right? Because every time I do something and I can flawless block, I'm gonna flawless block. You're gonna eat that combo. And so what are you guys doing now? You're grabbing, you're doing slow moves. I'm calling it out when you guys do it. I'm like, okay, they did a slow mid to blow up my flawless block. Now I'm eating a combo because I went for a flawless block. So there's counterplay. You have options. You just won't. People are just mad that they can't be fucking brain dead and autopilot. I got plus frames. My forward 3 is guaranteed. You have to respect it. No, the fuck it's not, asshole. It's not a combo. It's not guaranteed. You fucking do that forward 3, I got an answer. Every character in the game has an answer. Now, are you going to take the risk or are you going to outplay me? And that's fighting games.
Everyone has an answer that's safe, right? Like Kung Lao's 421 is -8, but it can be special cancelled in the Warping Head or whatever. Whatever.
No, but you're
right?
talking about
But
frame
looking at
advantage
Shao
on
Kahn,
hit. You're talking about frame advantage on hit. And I'm saying that every character has an answer.
I'm talking about frame advantage on hit, and then after what you're gonna do to mess up the timing on the flawless block, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So now you hit someone with a down 1 with Kung Lao, let's say, or down 3. And then and then you can either go for a stand 2 or a forward 1, at which point they flawless block. So instead you're going for a forward 2 to mess up the timing, and then you get a free hit, or they block it, and then you flawless, and then you be -8, or you throw the Warping Head, and now you're -4. Right, that's it.
Yeah.
Or you're safe, right? That's the end goal of that. You're safe, but you lose your turn. You get a flawless block setup. What the hell is Shao Kahn gonna do?
Grab.
He has after a down 1, he has his down 1 is +15.
Okay. You're talking about what Kung Lao can do versus what Shao can do. And Shao, like, basically, if he hits a down 1, he either jails into stand 1 or grab.
No, I'm talking about Shao doesn't have anything safe after down 1.
Yeah. Nothing Shao Kahn has is safe. Like, he's got, like, down 4, stand 1, back 4, and everything else is, like, death on block, basically. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, obviously. But I think that that's intrinsic to the character. But I'm saying that that's intrinsic to the character. Shao Kahn is just built to not be safe. And I think that that's the problem people are having, is sometimes what you want and what a character is supposed to do are two different things, and the developer's not going to budge. So if NetherRealm, and again, I didn't design the game, okay? So I'm just picking the brains of people I've never met. But if they're at a round table and they're saying, okay, we have like 30 characters we're going to have at launch, and we want them all to play differently so that there's a reason to play different characters. So then they go through archetypes and they go through, designing a play style, and they said, okay, well, we don't have a character that's like high risk, high reward. And it seems like that was what they built Shao Kahn to be, like the high risk, high reward. I don't care about frames. I don't care about neutral. I just want to hit you with a big fucking combo, do big fucking damage, and, like, that's it. And so I'm fine with Shao Kahn being that way. Is it good? No. Could you win tournaments with it? Maybe. It's not going to be easy. Won't be impossible, but it won't be easy. Like, you have to have, like, some godlike fucking, you have to be godlike patient to start looking for those risks. But, like, Shao Kahn's problem is that everything he does just gets him killed. But I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with him being bad, because I think that his style is unique enough that it deserves a place in the game. There deserves to be a character that's that high risk, high reward, because some people want to play that. Would a smart player who's trying to win tournaments try to play that? No. But, like, your average dude who's, like, sitting on the couch that's just like, I just want to do fucking combos, I don't care about frame data, like, they may find enjoyment in that. And not every character has to be competitive, like, at top 8 in a tournament. Because if you did that, then you would have just mirror matches. That's the only way to balance that, is to have every character play exactly the same.
I mean, at that point, is Shao still wouldn't be good because it go for Shao when you can go for Spawn where you get A, more damage, B, more better neutral, B, C, everything better.
Well, again, that's the problem with the
At least,
overlap.
like,
I agree with you
sorry.
there. There is a problem with archetypes overlapping. And, like, yeah, Shao Kahn, I don't think he's necessarily bad because of what we've said
I
before.
mean,
I think he's bad because of what you just said, in that there's nothing Shao Kahn does that Spawn doesn't do better.
yeah, exactly. And there's still the. It's not even high reward. Like he does have high reward, and like if you don't block. But his throw game is really bad. He doesn't get OK off of anything. He does have good movement. I will.
Yeah, but Spawn's movement, I think,
He
is better
does
than
have.
Shao's.
Yeah, I think it is personally too because better neutral means better movement.
Well, I think
Spawn.
Spawn has a better
Like you don't
backdash.
need to go again.
I think that's what
Oh
makes his
yeah,
movement better. Is his backdash is
Spawn
better.
is unmatched in back.
Like, they can
Spawn is
both get
unmatched in
in.
back.
Yeah, they can both get in very easily, but Spawn can actually get out. Shao Kahn, once he gets in, he's in. There's no getting out. Like, I mean, yeah, his backdash is better than most characters. Like, he has an above average backdash, but it's not like stupid like Spawn. Spawn's backdash is fucking dumb. That shit is too good. But I don't know. Like, I think Shao Kahn's fine the way he is. I think he fulfills a niche that's very, very hard to balance. And I would rather see that niche in the game than that niche be removed. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, it's better than nothing, right?
Well, it's just better to have a character that plays different from everybody else and suck than have a character that's good but plays like everybody else. Because they could easily, right? And people don't realize this. When they talk about balance with a character, NetherRealm could easily just remove the flaws block gap on 4-3-4 and like make his fucking shit safe. Like, it's very easy to make Shao Kahn as good as Jackie. But then he would be like, okay, like if they made 4-3-4 like not have a gap and be completely safe, well then now Shao Kahn is just basically spamming 4-3-4 fishing for a hit confirm. Which is literally what like half the characters do. But what I'm saying is it's not different from a lot of characters. Melina fishes for a hit confirm off of mid. Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Jackie, Garrus, like everybody just does a safe 1 or 2 hit mid string to fish for a hit confirm into a full combo. Like, we already have characters that do that. Why would you want to add another one? I would rather have a character that's different. Yeah, it's bad, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have a roster with 40 characters that play different than a roster of 40 characters that all play the same, that are all competitively viable. Because here's the deal. We literally just had that with like Aftermath and vanilla MK11. Every character was viable, but they were all kind of boring. They all kind of played the same. Now characters play a lot different from each other, and people are liking the game.
Actually, I wouldn't say day one the war was competitive.
What, with the fucking Infinite she had, or all that shit? She had like the Infinite, and I think she had something else. I remember she had a bug. There was a glitch that made like Devora stupid cheap, and it was something off of her like ground bugs, the buzzed variation. I remember seeing some tech about that like guaranteed a combo that looped into itself. That it was some sort of bug, but yeah, Devora was pretty cheap at launch. Ponies, what do you think about any of this, man? Like, you still haven't said shit. Ponies? Is Ponies even still here?
Ponies, whether your mic is muted.
Oh, he's probably talking the whole time. It was like A-Rod, like that one time. His mic was fucking muted. His mic the whole fucking podcast. He's probably talking the whole time, giving his 2 cents, and all of us are just interrupting him because we can't hear anything. And he's just like, man, these guys are just being dicks. Sorry, Ponies, we're not interrupting you. We value your opinion, but your mic is dead, so we're going to keep talking to not have dead air in a podcast. But I don't know. I think flawless block
Yeah.
on plus frames is fine.
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, he's back.
No, I was kind of interacting with my family though. But yeah, I heard all what you were saying though.
But it's like, I don't
But
know. I just don't like. I don't agree with the counter argument on flawless blocking plus frames. I don't agree with it. I think it's fine to
honestly,
have.
I was gonna say something earlier, but I was kind of talking. But yeah, flawless block is like probably one of my favorite things. I
Flawless
just
block
don't.
is
I'm
like
just
the
not
best
very good.
mechanic.
Yeah, it's just I'm not very good at it,
Flawless
but
block is good
I
on
think it's
some.
probably one of my cause like I'm a defensive player basically, so when I see flawless blocking, I think it's like one of the most amazing things that you could do, just to like get out of those frame traps and all the nonsense that people try to do to you.
Right? You like having an option that takes skill. And that's why I think flawless
Yeah,
blocking on
so
plus frames is fine. Because it's just an option.
and also it just seems pretty fun.
What's that, Kabalsek? Well, I thought he was going to say something. Oh, I thought you were saying something. I'm just
Nah,
saying, like, I don't have a problem with
I
a
think
skill-based mechanic being an escape for bad situations.
I think it's just like mad fun to like finally do it and like get it, keep going, and especially when you figure it out and people don't know that you know how.
Like, I think the issue that Kabalin is having is, A, he's playing a bad character that, like, I've said this in my tier list video. Shao Kahn is deleted by flawless block. Deleted. And that's just one of the things that's, like, makes him bad. And, like, that's just the balance of the game. That's how the mechanics have played out. There's not really much they could do to make that not be a glaring weakness. And it's fine because that's not everybody's weakness. That's just Shao Kahn's weakness. It's just his weakness is a universal mechanic everybody has. Like, I think your problem is just that Shao Kahn is bad, not that flawless block on plus frames is a problem.
Oh yeah, and also I was just kind of on mute because I was taking shots and stuff like.
You drunk motherfucker. We trying to be professional. I ain't even smoke weed today. I don't smoke weed before the podcast because I want to be on here. You guys love it when right? You guys love it when I get fucking ragey and fucking complainy on the podcast. So I don't smoke weed so that way I'm in an absolutely horrible mood. So I just fucking rage and vent because I guess you guys think that shit's funny. But you're drunk, you motherfucker.
Thinking about it now, removing the flawless block gap after 4-3-4 might actually be good because then he is actually high risk, high reward. Like he gets a full combo if he gets wrong, but he gets okay plus a little bit of damage.
If he goes for
on
the
the throw.
grab. Yeah, but then he plays exactly like Raiden. I mean, that's literally just Raiden. I think they put the flawless block gap in there to make him at least a little bit different to Raiden. Because right now, it's like, that's what Raiden does.
I wouldn't say it's a good way to individuate the two. Like make one complete dog shit and make the other one good. I don't think that's really a good way to balance it out.
I don't think they did it on purpose.
I don't think they made that move dog shit. They just made it risky. Now, you may find risky to be dog shit. Like maybe your personal perspective is that something that unsafe is dog shit. But I don't think risky means dog shit. I think risky just means risky.
Honestly, I like characters who just have risky options, honestly.
Like, I think he should have some sort of safe option, but I think he should still be, like, an unsafe character. I think it's fine, everything being unsafe for Shao Kahn.
I mean, wait, but it still won't be the same as Raiden because Raiden is lesser risk and higher and lesser reward. Because his is from further range because it's an advancing mid, and it also doesn't leave OK off the grab and it doesn't do as much damage. While Shao Kahn gets 30% off the charge. And
well, Raiden gets 30% off of his combos too.
I mean,
Yeah,
off of his combo,
high damage, huh?
off of his. But Shao gets off of his charge alone. Shao gets like 36%. With the 4-3-4.
Okay, and that shouldn't be risky. I don't
No,
see a
no, I'm
problem.
not saying it will be.
I'm still not like getting what you're saying. Like I agree that Shao Kahn is bad, and I agree that he's
But that charge
risky.
is kind of
But I'm
risky as
saying
fuck.
that
So
it's fine that he's risky because at least it's different. I mean, it sucks if you want to like main Shao Kahn and go win tournaments. Like, yeah, that's gonna suck because like you're gonna have a harder time doing it than anybody else. But I feel like as a whole, the ecosystem of the game benefits from having a character that's different more so than having a character that's good.
I mean, it's totally different. Raiden has better neutral tools. He has better a lot of things. Better zoning than Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn, if he had his 4-3-4 gap removed, he would be really good close range, while also being mediocre mid range and honestly kind of bad far range.
Yeah, well, I'm not disagreeing. I think 4-3-4 shouldn't have a gap, but I'm also looking at it from the perspective of if 4-3-4 didn't have a gap, like why would you use anything else with Shao Kahn? Like he would end up being very, very
Because
one
because
dimensional.
of the that's so risky, right? It's still risky to use 4-3-4.
Sorta.
oh well.
Like he can stagger it. He can throw the charge in at other points. Like there's stuff he can do. They're all risky, but he's got stuff.
I
He
mean,
has ways of beating all of the things that do or that
it's like
counter
one of his
that.
best tools. You gotta use it.
But I mean, to just sit there and say like, okay, like I want to have a safe hit confirmable string that can lead to a full combo. Like every character has that, but Shao Kahn, if he had that, he wouldn't have anything but that. He'd be like really, really one dimensional. Like at least like Jackie kind of does that too, but she has to use other moves to kind of enforce that. Same thing with Kung Lao. Like he's got to do different moves to be able to enforce that. Whereas like I mean, you guys see it already. People that don't know how to flawless block think Shao Kahn's the best character in the game. So think about it this way. If you took away that flawless block gap, so now people that can flawless block are basically dealing with people who can't flawless block. We're dealing with their problem. And like those people that can't flawless block are like, dude, Shao Kahn is fucking cheap. He's the best character in the game. He just does this string over and over, and I can't do anything about it. And if I take it, that's half my health.
Actually, I can. There's another way of fixing it.
You can get
There's
away
another
without
way
not
of
falling.
you can add another string after 4-3 or another option.
See, I would like that.
Solely flawless blockable. Yeah, I have 4-3 into like I don't know 4-3 down 2 or whatever. The jails and is and is a mid, right?
See,
and that's
that
the end of the
I would
string.
like.
You can't special cancel. That's the end.
That I would like. I think that would be really fucking cool. And again, I've been a strong advocate for adding moves. I think that characters, they should be adding moves to kind of cover some of the problems that people have. And Shao Kahn doesn't necessarily even have to have a string, just a safe special move. What if they made Annihilation safe? If they made Annihilation safe to where you could do 4-3 Annihilation and you don't get a whole lot of damage off of 4-3 Annihilation, but it's safe. And then you could do 4-3-4 or 4-3 charge if you want to take a risk. But if Shao Kahn had like a safe special move, I think instantly his problems would be gone.
Yeah.
It doesn't even necessarily have to be a new move or a new string. They could just take
But,
something else that he's got.
I mean, at that point, he would be really good. Like he would be insanely good. As a special, because then he has a mix-up of that also isn't flawless blockable. Of send 4 into say special or send 4 into 4-4, which is plus on block.
See that they could balance that. Kung Lao is like known for down 3 into safe special that leads to a combo. But guess what? Cost me 2 bars to do that. You could make a down 1 Annihilation like Johnny Cage's Rising Star, right? Down 1 Annihilation on block is safe if you amplify it, but it costs a defensive bar if they're blocking. They could balance like that, and that would make it fair.
I don't know. Either way, I just don't know. I think Rising Sword just way better than Annihilation, even if Annihilation was safe.
Yeah, I mean, Rising Star has more utility, but I'm saying there's a way to balance safe special move. They could balance safe special move, and I think safe special move would mitigate all of Shao Kahn's problems. If he had a special move that was safe, even if it costed 2 bars, like one offensive, one defensive, like other characters that have to be safe off of a special move, even if he had to spend bars, I still think it would mitigate his problems. Because then at least he can sit there and say, all right, I'm going to be safe. I'm going to spend a bar. I'm going to spend my resources to be safe. And now I don't have to sit there and just die every time I guess wrong. But my payout's going to be shitty if I guess right. So then you're encouraged to take the risk, which would end up making you play Shao Kahn the way he's designed to play, like risky. Because eventually you're going to get tired of not getting any damage off of like forward 3 Annihilation. So you're eventually going to have to take the risk. And it's all on your opponent of reading when you're going to go for that risk. I think it would make for very dynamic matches. You know what? Now that I think about it, they should make Annihilation safe on block if they spend 2 bars. Make it cost 2 bars. Make it safe on block. Boom! All of Shao Kahn's problems are gone.
I could see a way of making Annihilation safe. Because right now on Amplify, because right now the Amplify happens once you've hit the person, right?
Yeah.
You can make it so if they block it, he does like Annihilation into shoulder charge or something, and it resets neutral.
Or they could just make it to where like his hammer toss is like they could just because Shao Kahn has like hardly any amplify moves, right? He hardly uses meter for anything other than charge, right? Or combo extenders or Annihilation as a combo ender. So like they could sit there and make the hammer throw super super fast on startup if you meter burn it. Like kind of like Sub-Zero's meter burn ice ball. Like it's really really slow, but if you meter burn it, it's like really really fast. And then make the hammer throw safe on block if he spends like an offensive and defensive bar. Then there you go.
Okay, but then that would be exactly like Kotal's disc, which, as we said, we want different characters, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think that would make him like. I don't think that would make him too much like other characters. Because if he's doing a safe special move on a string to make himself safe, like, I don't think that would be overstepping anybody's toes in playstyle. Because he still would have that playstyle of, in order to get that big damage, I've got to take the risk. Like, it's just he would have an option outside of, oh, yeah, I don't feel like dying because they blocked. Right? Like, he would just have another option. But I don't think it would make him too similar to other characters. Because he's still going to have that intrinsic, if you want to hit him hard, you got to roll the dice. So then it just becomes a guessing game of when they're going to take that risk.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just... is there a character, actually, that has only an amplify on block and doesn't have an amplify on hit?
Well, no, but it would still have an amplify on block and hit. It's just on block, it would just make him safe. On hit, it would go through the whole Annihilation animation. Or if they did it hammer toss, it would go through, like... Kung Lao has a special move like that. That's safe on block and on hit leads to a full combo, and he has to spend 2 bars to do it.
Yeah.
Like...
Shao wouldn't get a full combo.
Shao wouldn't get a full combo on hit, but it would, I just think it would make him unique and different.
I know you're going.
Like, Kung Lao having a safe special move that leads to a full combo, that's like his thing. That's what separates him from everybody else. Like, that's his character archetype, is that I can do this one thing, and, like, it's free and safe. Well, not free. It costs 2 bars.
Like do the thing.
What's that? I thought Pony was saying something.
Every time you say, like, do this one thing, it always makes me laugh because it's like it remind me, like, do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
the thing. But yeah, keep going though.
But like I don't like if they did it with like Annihilation, like it's not like he's getting full combos off of Annihilation. He's spending the bar to be safe, and on hit, if he's making a read and not hit confirming it, he's severely hampering his damage output. So there's actually a motivation, right? There's incentive to take the risk, because otherwise Shao Kahn's damage output is just garbage.
There would be 2 ways of playing Shao Kahn. there would be low risk, low reward, or there would be high risk, high reward, and that I agree with.
Yeah, I would be cool with that. I think that would be the best solution to the problem of Shao Kahn being bad. I don't think removing the flawless block gap from 4-3-4 would be the way, because then he would just he would be kind of lame and boring to play. Like, it's just get in 4-3-4 until it hits. Like, there's
Also, I still don't get why they made it worse when it was already punishable anyway.
How did they make it worse?
You didn't make it worse.
I don't know how they made it worse.
They
more
literally
minor.
made it common. Instead of actually, I think what Ponies is saying is that now 4-3-4 is always punishable, where before it was only punishable if the opponent had meter. But right now, I just don't agree with that.
Yeah.
He gets a full combo after it.
It was kind of less minus, and then all of a sudden you're like, all right, let's make it better, but still make it worse.
Yeah, I
It was
think they
exactly
should.
the
I think they should
and
make
then they
it.
change it to minus 12.
I think to mitigate some of the complaining about that move, maybe make it not death on block if they flawless block, but kind of like Jax's.
Yeah.
You know how Jax has that 4-3-3 grab, and if you flawless block it, you can't punish it, but you can up two to punish it. And I think 4-3-4 being like that would be fine. Like, you can flawless block it, but you don't get anything for just flawless blocking it. You have to up two to get the punish.
You have to execute.
I don't think that would be better, personally.
You don't think that would be better, or you do? Sorry, it cut out.
No. If we had the annihilation being safe on amplify, then I don't think that would be better because Shao Kahn would be just too good.
Maybe. I mean, his damage output would be pretty shitty because he'd just be doing 4-3 annihilation amplify. But if he does that 2 times, now he's spent 4 bars. Because remember, I said make it cost an offensive and a defensive. So you're only at best going to get 2 repetitions of that. And now you have no bar. So if you do land the hit, you can't get a combo off of it. And if you get hit instead, you're not breaking away. So I feel like the risk versus reward, like, if it costed 2 bars to do that, would be fair, because you wouldn't necessarily want to do that every time. Like, there would be thought to it. And I think that's the problem that people have with it right now, is that there's no thought to it. You're either going to go and roll the dice, or you're just not going to use that move. Like, I think that's kind of where Shao Kahn is like, most players that play Shao Kahn, like, you guys see when I play Shao Kahn, I hardly ever do 4-3-4 because, like, I'm not taking that risk. That's just not what I want to do. But you see other Shao Kahns that just do 4-3-4 the whole fucking match, and I feel like there's differentiation there in, like, play styles. But to me, 4-3-4 doesn't exist.
You would be, for example, in that situation we talked about annihilation being safe on amplify. We could do there will be still 2 playstyles. There would be the Shao Kahn, there would be really fucking unga bunga and always go for the 4-3-4 mix. Or there will be a you kind of guy that just 4-3 annihilations to be safe. Or sometimes go for it because you condition them to block.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and that to me would be better than the situation we have now, where you have people like me who aren't, like, psychotic, who just don't use 4-3-4. Like, when I play Shao Kahn, that move just doesn't exist. I mean, Ponies did like a 2-hour set where I was playing Shao Kahn, and Ponies, did I ever do 4-3-4 in all those matches that we played? Like, it was like maybe twice.
No,
I think you did.
What is going on? Honestly, because I kept trying to prepare for it, but then like it barely happened. I was like, hold up.
Right? Like, I just don't do it. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not taking the risk, because I'm assuming you know how to counter it. So I'm not being stupid and throwing it out there. But, I mean, you know.
Waiting for you to use it, and then, you never use it. So I was like, now I have to, like, think about doing something else, kind of.
Right? So, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a problem with, like, Shao Kahn having a safe special move. I think that solves the issue of him being bad.
This motherfucker and beat his ass.
Right? Shit, we're already, like, at the end of the podcast. We spent like a whole hour talking about Shao Kahn. But I kind of like the discussion that we had here, because, you know, I wish NetherRealm would listen to this podcast and Because if they did what we were suggesting for Shao Kahn, I think he would actually be a pretty solid character.
Who knows? Don't they got that ping thing when you mention Mortal Kombat? It just pops
Maybe.
up on their radar.
Maybe. I know NetherRealm is aware of me, but I don't know that they actively listen to me. What's that?
We should do more of these, finding out how to balance out a character, actually. Like Shao Kahn today, because he's like the worst character.
Well, I was wanting to,
next week.
like, now that, like, Aftermath and Ultimate and all that is out, like, there's, like, not a whole lot to discuss outside of, like, maybe, whoa, Combat Pack 3, right? There's no news. And so I kind of wanted to have, like, a character of the week. And I guess this week was Shao Kahn.
Secretly, I think secretly everybody's been fighting for Shao Kahn, honestly.
Yeah, I think everybody wants Shao Kahn to be good because he's so iconic. And I think it's kind of like Scorpion. Like, everybody wants Scorpion to be good, but he's just kind of average. But, like, if Scorpion was top tier... But I'm saying if Scorpion was top tier, I don't think people would hate the game. People would be like, all right, Scorpion's top tier. Face of the game, whatever. And if Shao Kahn was top tier...
Scorpion doesn't even have to be top tier. It doesn't matter with Scorpion.
Yeah, but I think, like, with Shao Kahn, like, people wouldn't complain if Shao Kahn were top tier. They'd be like, well, he's the Khan of Outworld. He's the Emperor. He should be one of the best characters. Rough. He should be good. Yeah. He runs Outworld. Why is he so bad?
I get it. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, that's why people are like, all right, Cetrion's kind of like the best character, one of the best characters in the game, but it's like, all right, well, she is an elder god.
You'd be like, I've never heard of this one.
Right?
Liu Kang is the best character in the game, but then again, he also is the best character in the world.
Well, I think Liu Kang has always been the greatest character ever.
I don't have a... Liu Kang is almost always top tier in every game that he's in.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, he's never... Like, he was top... He was like... Well, he wasn't top tier in 9, but he could compete in 9. He could compete, but he wasn't top tier.
He was top 10. Don't lie. He was like...
I was like, oh my God.
I would agree that Liu Kang was top 10, but But the thing about MK9 is the difference between the top 5 and, like, the next 5 was, like, that was a pretty big gap. Like, you have Freddy, Cyrax, Kenshi, Cabal, Freddy, Cyrax, Kenshi, Cabal. Who else? Who else was top 5? Sonya or Johnny Cage, maybe. And then that gap between those 5 and the next 5 was pretty fucking deep chasm. You know, like, to take a character that was, like, painfully, you know, like, really, really good. Like, the difference between Liu Kang and Cyrax and MK9 is pretty big. Like, Liu Kang was good, but he was not Cyrax good. I think that was the only game where Liu Kang wasn't top tier, because he was fucking cheap in X, and he was cheap in...
I hope he comes back.
Right? I don't know.
Then you have Jackie, who's person with fucking bouncy boots, and she's top 1. Like, what the fuck?
Well, I think somebody at NetherRealm is just a big Jackie fan.
Mario and MK. You have Mario and MK, and he's top 1.
Not just Mario, movie Mario, where he had the rocket boots.
Joker is that now, though. He got the bouncy gloves.
Right? But anyways, we are at the end of the podcast. Any final thoughts, guys? Closing thoughts.
I still hate this game, but I'll play it every day. Yeah, final thoughts.
Hire me. NRS, hire me.
Hire Cabalsec NRS. My closing thought is, like, make Molina's back one not fucking whiff from point blank. I'm cool with it whiffing from outspaced, but if I'm literally sitting on top of them and forward dashing and I'm actually pushing their body because I can't go through them, and then I do forward 1 and it whiffs, that's bullshit.
Since we're doing that, I guess make Kodo top 5.
Kodo is top 5. Kodo's cheap. Social media,
top
guys.
Top 2.
Ponies and Cabalsec.
Make spawns charge safe. Make it.
Oh, man. Now we're just getting crazy. Anyways, social medias. You can find all of us on Twitter. These two guys, they don't stream, but Ponies was just in an exhibition yesterday that he won. So congratulations to Ponies, and he's trying to
Finally
enter
did
more
something
exhibitions.
cool.
Wait, Pony's
I
doing
guess.
an exhibition? Yeah, Pony.
What's up?
Was it Xbox or PC? Or PlayStation?
I am PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, I wanted.
Yeah, but the exhibition was it PlayStation?
It was on PlayStation.
You're breaking up,
I would have said easy money.
I can't hear
Right.
anything. Honestly.
right? Like I wanted to cover this more during the podcast and give you a moment to talk about it, but your mic cut out and you didn't say much. But
Well, you could have asked me and I would have responded, but it's okay.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, man, it was a good time. I never really joined anything, but that was my first time actually.
so your first
Trying to get into
exhibition and
something.
you won. That's pretty fucking dope. And he won his first exhibition pretty much just through training with us here at the Trash Talk Temple. So those of you that are ass at this game and want to do exhibitions, maybe hit us up. Ponies is living proof,
Still pretty whack though.
Me,
so,
me,
you
play
know.
me,
right? Ponies is living
me,
proof.
play
Kabalsak, you keep breaking up. I'm like getting like the first word and then nothing.
What is he saying?
I have no fucking clue. I'm trying to.
Sure.
There you are. What's up?
You should.
And there he
You should
goes.
play with my. I guess.
Play who?
Best way to deal with lag online, lag tournaments. Like people lag searching all the time. Deal with lag all the time.
I'd agree with that.
Honestly.
You want to get good at fighting laggy shit? Fight Kabalsak. He's nothing but laggy shit.
I played him before.
Anyways, I gotta fucking
But yeah,
pee.
you
So
got to go and do your thing.
right, I gotta pee and all of that. So we're gonna call it here. But thank you, Ponies and Kabalsak, for joining us today. We had another guest lined up who just didn't show up last minute. So I thank you guys for coming through. And
No
Yeah.
problem.
appreciate it. This will be up on YouTube hopefully tonight or tomorrow. But either way,
Oh, yeah, people gotta meet me on Twitter now, man. I'm a Twitter boy now.
right? I got to make sure to put your link in the description. Links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to mention what you think about Shao Kahn in the comments below.
He's amazing.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for stopping by, man.
All right, y'all.
You forgot to say turn on notifications, dude. What the fuck? Fake YouTuber confirmed.
I just assumed that everybody turns on their notifications because they're not
Well,
bitch ass.
It's been said, so it's all good now.
You guys
Hi,
are
man.
dick.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
All right, guys. I actually am going to. Usually, I take a half an hour to catch up with chat. Well, let's catch up with chat. You guys haven't said a whole lot. What's up, Mills? Justin Romeo, Ponies, who is on the podcast streak. What's up? No, it's not PS4 Lobby Day. I still haven't fixed the PS4. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow or attempt to do it tomorrow. I'm just like I don't want to spend 6 hours like I had trying to fix it and then not get anything, like not stream at all. So I need a day where I don't stream, which would be tomorrow. I'm going to try and fix the PlayStation and get it in a streamable situation before my job interview, but like I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I'm not making any promises, but I am going to work on it tomorrow. Morning Tap, morning ATL, morning Hatcher. Thank you for the follow, Malini. Welcome to the Trash Talk Temple. Sorry, when we record the podcast, I usually don't talk to chat, so it's not that I was ignoring you. It's just that these go up on YouTube, and like it's kind of stupid for me to like interact with a chat that's not there when when you watch it on the YouTube. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break. Because I gotta go run to the bathroom, and then I'm gonna go have a cigarette, and then I'm either gonna start King of the Hill or do sets. We'll see what the interest is. If there's a lot of people that want sets, then I may start a King of the Hill, or I may just do sets and line everybody up. It depends. But I'm gonna step away for a sec, and I'll be right back.